Well, let's check in with our Kevin Lewis. He has been on the scene since all of this erupted about two hours ago or so. Kevin, hopefully you're in a place where you feel safe and you can give us an update on what you're seeing.
Yeah, Allison, certainly things have cooled down here at the mall. There are still rioters, or at least onlookers here. I'd say about 50, mostly youth here, but the police definitely outnumbering the citizens right now. You can see just a line of officers, many with the shields and the batons in their riot gear. And there's another whole line of officers just to the right of here. The reason why they are sticking at this location, despite the fact that so many of the crowds have moved toward downtown where Brad Bell is right now in the thick of it, is because they do not want the rioters to gain access to this mall. There's a Marshall's and many other stores. From what we saw, even at the start of this newscast at 4 o'clock when things were so intense here, no one actually gained access to the mall, which of course is great news. What we saw here when things were really intense, there was the Midas dealership, or the Midas tire and auto body store right here. Behind this line of officers, there was an officer on the ground. We presume that is one of the 7 officers that have been injured in all of these riots that we've seen this afternoon. The officer, from what I could see across the street, was not moving. There were 4 or 5 officers gathered around that individual, and that officer presumably was taken away by ambulance. At 4 o'clock, we also saw a line of Maryland State Police squad cars, lights and sirens blaring, coming down the road here. There were probably 100 people here just chucking anything they could, rocks and stones and pieces of wood. We saw multiple the police vehicles from Maryland State Police have their windows shattered. We also saw a handful, you can see there, that is a rock that was just thrown at the police there right in the center of the roadway. That's the first thing we've seen thrown at officers here in quite a while, because things really have calmed down here. This has been an intense afternoon, to say the very least. Leanna Nelson, you were saying that so much of this anger and resentment has been guided directly at the police department. And it's true. A lot of times we will see the rioters turn on the media or turn on residents. I have not seen any of that. They have been actually very accommodating to the media, and they want us to, in their words, share their story. I also spoke, and there's another rock being thrown at the police. They are now moving forward. We are in a position that is safe. I will let everyone back at the station know that. If we feel things turn, we will, of course, go off the air. But we do feel safe where we are right now.
All right, Kevin, well, what we're watching...
The police are now moving toward us.
Yeah, we see them. Now, the police are coming your way. They're heading towards your location.
The police are coming our way, and you see one guy, it looks like he's shaking some mace, but we are okay. This is mostly youth here that I think are just trying to stir up the police and not do anything more. So we are truly safe where we're at. There are no rioters in front of us. It is just the police department. But you can see many of these officers have shields. Most are holding batons, and all have their helmets with the plastic cover in front.
Well, Kevin, who are they focusing on? Are they focusing on people behind you?
Well, and Jeff, if you don't mind turning to who the police are trying to run off, you can see it's just a crowd of about maybe 15, mostly youth, that have been throwing rocks. The police are now screaming, "Move, move," and we're going to just step out of the way here. I think it's to a point where the individuals have been loitering around this mall for so long that the police are just trying to gain full control, because there are so many other parts of the city that are seeing heavy rioting. I talked to one officer about 30 minutes ago. I said, "How many police officers do you have out in the street right now?" And he told me, "If you work for the City of Baltimore Police Department, you are wearing your blue uniform, you are out on the street, there is no one at home, there is no one on vacation. This is all hands on deck right now." And like I said, you know, we've been here for, let's see, about 2 hours at this mall, and things are much more calm now. When we first got here, I have to say, there were chills running down my spine. You had 4 helicopters above. You had the tactical units, which you can actually see over there. The one on the left, you can see like a cream peppered on the side of that vehicle. It's because it was just getting annihilated with rocks and anything people could get their hands on. It was a very tense scene. There was no control. Things definitely have simmer down here from where we see.
Meanwhile, Kevin, we're also looking at images from the CVS store that we have told everybody about, that we've been watching. Looters apparently going in, coming out with items from the store. We've yet to, at least from our vantage point, see a police presence stopping them. That could be there, but at least from what we can tell, it's mainly people just going in, taking items out and leaving. And it doesn't seem to be too far from where the vehicles were on fire. The police vehicles were on fire. In fact, I believe from what we saw a few minutes ago, there could be yet another one on fire, because the fire rescue had come to the first one and was putting that one out. So Horace Holmes was reporting earlier, there are in fact small fires that have been set throughout the city, and we are certainly witnessing that.
Yeah, our Brad Bell was also getting some of the same reports. Let's check in with him and see what the latest is from his location. Brad, what's going on where you are right now?
Well, as Kevin said, things have calmed down here a little bit. This is the state police trooper line. They've been holding their ground here. Baltimore police line down North Monroe Street a little bit farther, ironically, pushing towards the funeral home where Freddie Gray's funeral was today. Let me show you something. This is what has been thrown at these police officers. This is a full jug, was a full jug of antifreeze. Can you imagine getting hit with that? And take a look at this hunk of concrete as well. This is what these people were throwing at the police officers out here. This is more than a pound sharp. If that thing hit, it would hurt. That's why these guys wear these shields, so they can protect themselves. And that's exactly what they've been doing. As the stones have come in, they've lifted the shields up, tried to shelter themselves and those behind them as well. Amazing restraint. We have seen arrests. I've probably seen about a half a dozen, maybe more arrests this afternoon. If people try to get into the line, they're going to get arrested. Every now and then, as we take a look down the way here as well, we can bring back some video of earlier of some of the things that we've seen out here, some of the stone throwing as well. But every now and then, somebody does something, and they take off running from the police go in pursuit. We've seen several of those foot chases where suspects are brought into custody. Now, approaching the police line back here is Reverend Jamal Bryant, who earlier today spoke at the funeral of Freddie Gray. Pastor Bryant, can we talk to you real quick? Can you say anything about this stone throwing? Can I get to him, please? All right. The police are not letting me through the line to talk to Pastor Bryant there, and that's understandable. They're holding a line. That's what has to happen. Take a look down the street here as well, down in North Monroe. There's another police line down there. That is where, in this area, the most aggressive young people were throwing the stones. And when I say young people, they were teenagers, 14, 15 years old, some of them even younger. A lot of yelling, a lot of screaming, a lot of tension going on in the neighborhood out here right now. We've seen officers hit with some of those heavy stones like we showed you. We've seen pepper spray deployed. We got a little burn in our throat. We saw an officer who was overcome with it as well.
Not to cut you off,
police are not letting us through the line, but we can show you right here, right now. That's Pastor Jamal Bryant, who's speaking to cameras in there. And he was the one who was earlier today calling.
Let's listen to the pastor now.
Son to rest, to come just a few blocks away from where we had the services, disappointing, and I'm hoping to bring some calm and to bring our young people back into focus as to what we're really marching for.
What do you say to do that, Pastor? What do you say to bring them calm?
It is one, this is not what the family asked for. Today of all days, the family was very clear that this was a day of sacred closure in the funeral. So for us to come out of the burial and walk into this is absolutely inexcusable. I'm asking every young person to go back home. Tomorrow night we'll have a community meeting for us to really recalibrate because peace is the call in the order of the day.
Do you think this is just frustration and anger, or do you think it's much more than that?
It's frustration, anger, and it's disrespect to the family. The family was very clear. We've been saying it all along. Today, there is absolutely no protest, no demonstration that we go back into the street on tomorrow.
Pastor, what are you hearing? We're hearing it's not just in this area.
No,
but North Avenue.
No, we've got it.
Downtown.
We have a team of men from the church going to North Avenue now to pull back those young people who are absolutely out of control, so that we can bring some order. This is a peaceful movement, and we plan on maintaining that order.
Discussion about them moving toward downtown again.
Yes, we have a line of gentlemen from the Nation of Islam who are going to build a human wall, as well as men from the Christian church making that human wall to let the men know that they've got to send these children back.
Where is that happening?
It's downtown is what I'll say.
So all across downtown?
And from North Avenue to downtown, those hot spots, we're pulling everybody back so that we can have calm and order. Violence is not the answer for justice.
Pastor, you said this is a peaceful protest, but we've seen people, demonstrators, agitators, however you want to refer to them, throw rocks, bricks.
No, today what has happened this afternoon is not peaceful, and it does not reflect the spirit and the heart of this movement. This is a movement of peace. We're calling for justice, not for vengeance and not for violence. This does not represent the Gray family, nor does it represent the last 7 days of peaceful protest. And so we're asking all of those who are participating to go back home. Tomorrow we start afresh and anew and stay focused on justice for this family and justice for Baltimore.
Next question. The mayor.
I have not spoken to the mayor.
And where do you go from here? So you're getting your...
My focus is not the mayor. My focus is not the police commissioner. My focus is these black children on the streets. I don't want them arrested, wounded, or tear gassed. I want them all to go back home.
Very powerful message today at the eulogy. How does what you're seeing now on the streets square with that?
It doesn't. This is a complete disconnect from what it is that we've seen the last couple of days. We've had a week of peaceful protests outside of what happened on Saturday, and we're going to go back to basics, is that we're believing no justice, no peace, but that peace has got to have balance and has got to have order. Breaking glass and windows is not reflective of justice and what it is we're calling for.
As you're on the street now, you're walking. Where are you walking to?
I'm walking to wherever these young people are. That's my responsibility. That's my assignment. Not even looking for you all, but looking for our young people to go back into their homes in a call for peace and a call for order.
Can I ask a question? What can just ordinary people do like me? I'm from Baltimore. I love this city. What can I do to help?
I need you to get on Twitter, get on Facebook, Instagram. Tell everybody to go back home and call to peace so that all of us are on one accord. And tomorrow, have all of your friends meet me at Empowerment Temple at 7:30 tomorrow night.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. Thank you.